Have you ever met a celebrity but acted like you didn't know them? My son was diagnosed with a rare heart condition when he was 4. By the time he turned 7, he needed a specialized surgery that only one doctor in Boston could perform. The procedure cost $123,000, and our insurance denied coverage, calling it experimental. We had already sold our house and moved into a tiny apartment. I was working 2 jobs while my husband took care of our son, whose condition was deteriorating rapidly. His lips would turn blue during even mild activity, and he had started having fainting spells. Last month, his cardiologist called us in for an emergency appointment. His heart was failing faster than expected. If he doesn't get this surgery within 3 weeks, he couldn't even finish the sentence, but we understood. We were still $11,000 short, despite GoFundMe and community fundraisers. I picked up a 3rd job at an upscale hotel bar in downtown Chicago, working overnight shifts after my day jobs. I was surviving on 2 to 3 hours of sleep, but nothing mattered except getting that money. On my 5th night, I was so exhausted I could barely stand. That's when Keanu Reeves walked in alone around 1 a.m. He was in town filming, according to the local news. He wore simple clothes and looked tired, sitting at the far end of the empty bar. I recognized him immediately but could see he wanted privacy, so I just nodded and asked, "What can I get you?" No name, no recognition. He ordered a whiskey neat and asked for the food menu. While making his drink, my hands were shaking from exhaustion. I dropped a glass and it shattered everywhere. I nearly broke down right there. I couldn't afford mistakes that might cost me this job. "You okay?" he asked as I frantically cleaned up. "Yeah, sorry, long day." I tried to sound normal while fighting back tears. "How long have you been working today?" he asked. "About 12 hours, I admitted. "Got about 5 more to go." He looked shocked. "Why such long hours?" I never discuss personal problems with customers, but something in his genuine concern broke me. "My son needs heart surgery. We're running out of time to get the money." He nodded and didn't press further. I served his food and kept my distance, bringing refills when needed. When he finished, I brought his check and thanked him for coming in. An hour later, as I was closing his tab, I noticed he'd left a $6,000 tip. I ran outside to catch him. This had to be a mistake. I spotted him getting into a car and called out, "Sir, I think you made a mistake on the tip." He turned and smiled. "No mistake. You're working too hard. Get some rest." "I can't accept this," I said, even though we desperately needed it. "Please do," he said. "What's your son's name?" "Zayn," I replied, confused. He nodded and left. I stood there holding the receipt, overwhelmed by the kindness, but knowing it was still far from what we needed. The next morning, I was awakened by my husband screaming. I thought something had happened to Zayn, but he was holding his phone, crying. The hospital had called. An anonymous donor had paid for Zayn's entire surgery and recovery care. We flew to Boston 3 days later. As they were prepping Zayn for surgery, a nurse handed me an envelope. Inside was a note that simply read, "Everyone deserves time with their kids. KR. 6 months later, Zayn is running around like any normal kid." I never told anyone who helped us. Some things are meant to stay private, just like I kept his privacy that night.